Hi guys, how's it
Hey
going?
Raffy, how you doing,
Hi, how
buddy?
are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me and congrats on the show. It's really cute and
Thank
the
you so
fans
much.
really love it. My first question is for Owen. So, like I mentioned, the fans are really loving the show, and it's only been on for like 5 days. Hasn't even been a week yet, and people are like tweeting about it like crazy. And people are really loving the dynamic between Alex and Willy. So, I was wondering if you could talk about getting to play like an openly gay character, like in a show, especially since representation is always important. Still, it's a conversations we're supposed to be talking about, and especially for youth growing up getting to see themselves like reflected on screen.
No, yeah, I remember finding out about the character and being a little nervous because I wanted to play, I wanted to do it respectfully and earnestly and honestly, and I kind of leaned on the shoulder of Kenny and Kenny really saying, no, 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 you're perfect for it, you can do it. So that kind of gave me the confidence that I needed to go in and do it, and I honestly, I'm just like, even watching like the reaction of fans and stuff like that, I'm just honored that I got the part and the chance to play a part like this. And Kenny came to me and he was like, he said, I want Alex to have always been proud. I remember he said, I want Alex to always have been proud of who he was, and I don't want him having trouble with being proud about who he is, and I want Luke to just say who he is in the second episode, and that's what he said, and I was like, that's really really cool. So I'm just I'm it's really rewarding to see how people are accepting it and loving it.
I love that. And Charlie, Alex, and Willie obviously aren't the only the only couple with chemistry on the show. Fans are also loving Julie and Luke and their relationship and their budding romance, I guess. So I wanted to know what your expectations are for like down the line. What are your hopes for the future of these characters, especially since the first season left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger? So I was wondering if you could give me some insight on that.
Well, they're still kids, right? Like they gotta, like I love, absolutely love how they became like best friends before anything else. They worked hard together. They created beautiful music, and they all became such like of a family first. And to move that forward, it's like I think they will. I really think they like each other, but at the same time, he's still dead. And then and she's still human. And so there's these really cool obstacles that we're gonna get to have fun with. And I look forward to that. But I look forward to them taking it at a speed that's so much more normal. It's not just like um, it's not just so like instant. Like I absolutely love that they're becoming closer and closer, that they helped each other out in so many different aspects. And I hope that we get to create that message to continue with it. And I hope they continue to just be lights in each other's lives.
Mm. And obviously, throughout his career, Kenny Ortega has like done so many iconic works that have inspired a generation of like LGBTQ youth, like singers, theater kids, dancers,
Yeah.
actors. So I was wondering if like each of you could talk about just like what it was like to work with him, and like especially since he's like I said, he has had such a legendary career. I was wondering if we could start off with Jeremy first, since we haven't heard from him yet.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Kenny is I think we've all been huge fans of Kenny for a long time. I mean, we're the generation that grew up, watching like High School Musical and then even farther back, like when I was a kid, my parents always had Michael Jackson on and I mean, just amazing music. And he did all those tours. And I think like Kenny is someone who's such a legend in the industry, and so you would expect him to be like this, almost kind of like, whoa, like it's so nervous to like talk to him. But the second he meets you, he's so kind and so humble and so loving and warm. And he really just makes you feel comfortable like immediately. And that's hard. I mean, you're doing things that are a lot of responsibility, a lot of pressure that can be kind of scary to step into, but somehow he makes you confident in it. And he's a collaborator. He doesn't see himself as your boss. He sees himself as a partner and a collaborator in the process. And he really empowers young young stars and young kids, and gives them a lot of leeway and a lot of creativity. And I think that's so cool. It's so rare to work with someone like that. He's just a never ending ball of energy.
We stand an icon. And Owen and Charlie, did you have any thoughts about working with Kenny?
Yeah, I just, from the very, very beginning and even hearing stories that he likes to share, and what was in the back of his mind while working on projects is, you know, Kenny's been fighting for diversity since the first movie he's ever had. So just being able to play a character that's part of his mission, that's part of his goal to like spread that love within the world and stuff like that. That's just, you know, it's huge.
Yeah, and man, like Owen just telling stories there, like I could listen to that guy tell me stories for
Hours.
days, Jer. It's like this guy has lived through so much, man, and he's learned so much. He's like really one of the most well-rounded souls that I've ever met in my life. He's just like and inspiring, absolutely inspiring. So it's like there's not enough words in the dictionary to be able to compliment Kenny Ortega. I love that guy.
The New York Post that said he was the teen whisperer.
Whisperer.
He really is.
So funny.
Yeah.
And now you got to work with him.
I know. We get to swim in his pool.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting the wrap soon, but thank you guys again for taking the time to talk to me. And congrats again
Raffy,
on the
thank
show.
you so much.
Of course.
Buddy.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Cheers, buddy. All love.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Raffy.
Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me, and congratulations on the movie. Oh, the series. It's really cute. Now, my first question is for Booboo. The show's only been out for like not even a week, 5 days, but the stands really love it, and they're already really like shipping so hard Alex and Willy. So I was wondering if you could talk a little about what it was like playing Willy and like playing this role, or like with like a romantic queer love story, especially since, you know, representation is always so important, especially for youth and for youth-oriented things, for people to like want to see themselves.
No, 100%, 100%. I am very thankful that we have decided to tell this love story in the way that we have, which is the way it is in the real world. I mean, you look around, there's a couple boys, you know, couples all around each other, and that's just how it is. Like, we don't have to put all this like extra stress onto the relationship. It's just two guys who like each other, and that's life. You know what I mean? And I'm so happy that that's the way we've gone about it, and that's straight from Kenny and from myself and from Owen, the actor who plays Alex. We never wanted it to be anything more than what it is in the real world, and I'm so happy that young people can grow up watching this and understanding that that is you can relate to that. That's you can come out. And I've heard stories today where people have come out to their parents, and that is, I mean, number one, like that for me. The fact that I had no idea that was happening, and the fact that people have found strength in our relationship to be able to say that in their real lives is so incredible. And yeah, I don't know. It's very nice, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Oh, I love that. And Cheyenne, I wanted to get your thoughts on that too, because I feel like you and me, we come from a generation where like back when I was growing up, I never saw like LGBTQ youth represented on screen. So I was wondering if you could share your thoughts on what's that like being part of this project.
It's really, really special, and I don't think it can be. I'm glad you asked me too, because I think it's one of the most special things about the show. And that is the way that their relationship is portrayed. It isn't a big deal. It isn't set up. It isn't fraught with pain and judgment and shame. And you're not thinking, oh, is Alex's parent, what are they going to feel? It isn't any about that. This is forward thinking because it is just there. And yeah, had I seen this as a 13-year-old queer kid in Idaho, seeing a representation of just two cute boys on a Netflix show liking each other, and it just is, I think it's really, really cool. What I would like to see in season 2, I'm just putting this out there, is an Alex and Willy duet. I think queer kids need this content. And I love Owen and Booboo personally, and they're both just great actors and great singers. And I just think this is a musical moment we all need.
They can have their Troy and Gabriella moment.
Yes.
And a next question for you too. You've had a lot of wide range of roles over your career, but the last time you worked with Kenny in Descendants 3, you were Hades, also a little villain, the ruler of the underworld. And I love I saw it as soon as I saw you with your top hat and your cape in the first episode. I was like, this queen. So, I was wondering, like, what do you like about playing these fun villainous roles? And I know we've seen it like a little bit in like American Horror Story too, but what's that like?
Yeah,
Gonna be devilishly good.
It's more fun. It's more fun to play the antagonist. It's more fun to play the bad guy. I don't really see him as bad, and I don't really see Hades as bad, but I find as an actor, it's more interesting to be able to fill in these blanks. And that's kind of something I learned on American Horror Story from Kathy Bates and Sarah Paulson, and that like you can't judge your characters. You can't say they did this so they're bad. You have to find the reason as to why they did that, and what's the pain behind it, and what's the anxiety behind it leading to that decision. So whether it's American Horror Story or The Descendants, you still have to ground it in something, or it's just going to all come off as like, come here, little boy, you know, like. So that's the fun, and Kenny is just a master at inspiring you and lifting you up and letting you just create, because he is so creative, and he just makes you feel like you can't F it up, you know.
That's all the questions I have for you guys. Thank you again. I'm loving the fan reaction to this series. I'm glad it's having the impact that it has now.
Thanks, Raffy. Thanks for your questions. They were great.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Raffy.
Hi. Thank you for taking
with Pride, huh? You're with Pride?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you. Like I said, thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I know y'all are busy and we're going through some crazy times, but it's nice to connect. My first question is actually for you, Kenny. First of all, it's an honor to talk to you. I grew up on High School Musical. I was a High School Musical girl. So, so speaking of which, throughout your career, you've inspired like a whole generation of like queer entertainers, dancers, singers with your works. And a lot of your work does have like queer subtext in it. But like with Julie and the Phantoms, I feel like it was like the first time I've seen like this queer couple with Alex and Willy. So I was wondering if you could talk about creating that storyline and directing them, and what was it like to, like I said, create a work actually where you can finally have explicit gay representation versus just
it was there in our thoughts from the very, very beginning. You know, we were given freedom to work with a new Julie and the Phantoms, you know, a broad range to explore and adventure into new territory with our characters. And Dan Cross and Dave Hoge and I agreed that we thought that it would be wonderful to have a gay member of the band, a gay ghost, and a gay story. And that we also, I felt it was important that it was not a coming out story, but that we could play the normality of just being, you know, a guy, you know, just who happens to be gay, and put him in a more enlightened world with friends that just, you know, accept him 100%. And so it was just really thrilling for me to be able to be a part of the development of that story, and then finding, you know, Owen Patrick Joyner to play Alex, and then seeing the chemistry that happened with Booboo Stewart and he, and how comfortable and at ease and relaxed these guys were at every single moment. They were so open to any direction that I might throw at them, and they enjoyed these characters so much. It was a joy at all, the whole time, always.
And it was a joy to watch too. And Madison, Alex and Willy weren't the only people that fans were loving. People loved Julie and Luke's chemistry too. So I was wondering, since the season ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, what your hopes were the future for Julie and her relationship with Luke, and just down the line, what do you hope to see if there's when season 2 comes around?
Right. You know, their relationship is so beautiful. I love how, you know, there's that message of just loving somebody for who they are on the inside rather than who they are on the outside, you know, loving them for, you know, what they stand by and what they represent rather than, you know, what might be on the outside, like I said. So I'm very excited to see them grow together, because they definitely do help each other grow a lot. I'm excited to see, you know, what music we can create, because we already wrote a song for season 1. So I'm excited to see what me and Charlie can come up with for the next season. And, you know, I'm just also very excited to see, you know, Willy and Alex's relationship grow as well, because it's such a beautiful story. and I can't wait to find out more backstory about the two of them as well.
Yeah, I love that. I'm
Yeah,
sure fans
Raffy,
agree with that.
we're getting such a wonderful response from the LGBTQ plus community, young and old, and it's just so great, you know, that they're embracing this and finding something in here that's special. And so yeah, I'm glad that we could talk about this with you.
Yeah, it's really resonated. I've seen like on Twitter all the gay fans who love loving Alex and Willy, and so it's much appreciated.
Great.
I'm getting the rap signal, but thank you guys again so much.
Thank you for talking to us. Have a great night. Love you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.